morning. How are ya? Thanks for being here. It's good to be back. We're going to wrap up that Life is Consciousness series today, and I'm grateful that you're here. Thank you. Pray for peace, my friends. Peace on the planet. Again, thanks for being here. Anything you missed today, of course, you can see on YouTube, youtube.unityoflagstaff.org. All right, be blessed. So this morning, I'd just like to start with a little quiet. And we are affirming peace in the hearts and the minds of all humankind. And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you for that. So if you'll stand now, we're going to do a familiar song. I think you'll recognize these folks and our fabulously talented Wiley, Creed of the Heart.
Our God is love, our race is human, our religion is oneness, that's the creed of the heart. Our God is love, our race is human, our religion is oneness. Amen. Our God is love, our race is human, our religion is oneness. That's the creed of the heart. Our God is love. is human. Our religion is oneness. Amen. Our God is love. Our race is human. Our religion is oneness. That's the creed of the heart. Our God is love. Our race is human. Our religion is oneness. Amen.
Yay. Thank you for that. And now we'll greet each other at the level that you are comfortable. I know I let you get set down, didn't I? So say good morning. It is church aerobics. Yeah. I was laughing this morning. I put this chair here and somebody said, really? Like you ever use? How you doing? You look great.
Doing all right.
Good. Good.
Getting there.
Well, it's all just a journey anyway, right?
Yeah, that's true.
It is. How's your bride? How's Miss Charlotta?
He's good.
Good. Good. Are you guys enjoying the snow out there?
Yeah.
Good evening. Better one.
All right. Good morning and God morning. And we're coming back into the room. Here we come. I'm Reverend Penni Honey. Welcome to Unity of Flagstaff. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. So what I know is Unity of Flagstaff is an open and inclusive community. And I don't know why this is happening right now, but it is. So it's all right. God is here. And all are welcome. And we are in this moment opening our hearts and our minds to the entire planet. If there were room in this room, we'd have them all. And we do, because we get to carry each one in our hearts. However they're worshiping, whatever they believe in, whatever they support, whatever they don't support, right here. We're holding it right here. And what we know is in this community, that is welcomed. And it is good to have a room to come to that is true. And I appreciate you Zoomers and YouTubers. Thank you. Thank you, truly. And Sam, I appreciate you. Yes, I do. So I don't see any new faces in the room today, but like we like to say, there are no strangers here, only friends that you haven't met yet. Thank you. And for those of you who may be joining us for the first time out there, thanks for stopping by. You can find everything out you want to know about the ministry on the website. Here it is, people, the infomercial, www.unityofflagstaff.org. Okay, said it once, check. So welcome, all of you. Thank you. And now I would like to invite the amazing Miss Marcia Wiesner up here. And Wiesner, I say that because I have to correct myself, and I've known her. And I've known her many, many, many years, and I still do it. So
Okay.
Marcia is a part of our prayer team. And I think the PA is a little shorter than you today, huh? Do we want to just slide that out of there?
How's it working? Sam?
Is that good? All right. Marcia is a part of our prayer team. And I have asked Marcia to do our opening prayer today. She's going to show you how easy it is to pray with people, because it's just about being in your heart. And I know she knows how to do that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I know many of us are feeling concerned about situations in the world today, conflicts, crises. So let's take that into prayer. I invite you to close your eyes if you wish. And I invite you to breathe deeply at your own pace for a few breaths. And take yourself into the silence within. We now declare that worries about the state of the world have no power over our divine nature. We affirm that we are one in spirit. We claim divine peace, divine wisdom, and divine strength. As we grow into this knowledge, we send it out to the world so that others may know the same peace, wisdom, and strength, and so that we all may know what is ours to do. Take a few more breaths. And so it is.
Thank you, Marcia. Thank you. All right. Man, that light guy's getting a workout today, isn't he? We just got him running back and forth back there. Thank you, Dave. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our PA of the day. It is Elaine McKee. Elaine is the newest PA member. She'll tell you how easy that is too. So there are always opportunities to serve in this way if you're interested. Elaine, I always ask interesting. What is an interesting fact about you? And Elaine and her late husband, Ken, traveled the lower 48 states, Alaska, and 5 Canadian provinces by car for almost 2 years. And at the end of it, they landed in Williams and they still liked each other. So that was quite an accomplishment and a fabulous trip. Elaine, we welcome you to the platform. Thank you.
I noticed you did a little editing. She added the and they liked each other. Good morning, as I am Elaine McKee, and I'm so happy to be here. As you know, I don't get here every Sunday, so whenever I am here, it's a special time. And we love to start our unity gatherings with gratitudes and with requests for prayer too. So now it is the time to share what's happening with you. And so let's start with whoever's ready with a gratitude or a request. And we have a microphone. And here's our first person. Good morning, Sandy.
I just wanted to share with everyone that the little pistol of a dog I have, Walt, was able to get his toenails trimmed yesterday by the traveling groomer with much drugs and being held very safely.
Oh,
Good.
thank you.
No scratch marks. So.
Here's another contribution.
I had a very special event yesterday, which still touches me a bit. I was at a store. My right shoelace came undone, so when I got out, I found a place to put my foot up and tie it. Guess what happened? It fell off on the ground. And this I cherish because it was made by a very, very dear friend right after my beloved Carol passed. I didn't know it. It was gone. I walked a while. All of a sudden, this little girl came up beside me. She said, "I think you lost this." Bless her heart. Huh? Oh, wow. And I did, bless her heart, of course. So that was very special to me. Bless her, bless her, bless her.
Thank you. Thank you. There's a couple more. Marcia.
Hi, yesterday was my daughter's first day as a regular carrier after several years being one of the people with footprints on their faces as the, what do I say, assistant carriers. And so now she can have a regular schedule. She doesn't have to work beyond any hours that she's assigned for her route. So I'm very happy for her.
Thank you. Yes. Someone in the back.
I have a gratitude for a woman named Rena. She came over to my house last night and she is young, but so wise. And just our conversation that we had, I'm grateful that for people that show up in our
Did somebody
lives.
order that for me? Because
that
I
opens
don't
up
order
to
those. They just
looking
come to me
at
and I
life
eat them.
differently.
Oh, they might have put it on
And I
there.
have
if
the
it's
most
like
incredible dream of her
got yogurt.
reflection and
Do it for like the
knowledge. And I'm just grateful
Oh,
for
I'll take it.
people like
it's
Rena.
kind of milky, but you do like a spoon or something.
Oh,
or
no, I
straw?
just drink it. I just drink
Anyone
it.
else?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So,
Right. One more.
you know, all of a sudden I got tired, really tired.
Okay.
So I've been sleeping a
want
little bit,
to,
not resuming my church
Pray
thing.
for the
But,
people of
I'm okay.
Ukraine.
I don't feel like yesterday. I had a lot of.
Very difficult time for many of them.
Well, if you
Express
need to
gratitude
feeling
for
pretty tired,
neighboring
call
countries
us.
who have
I just wanted
tended
to.
to be
I'm
very
okay.
welcoming.
I can walk. I
those
just
that have
I
crossed
just don't have the energy I had
border.
yesterday.
And as a
I don't know
former
why.
Vietnam War veteran, I understand exactly firsthand what it's like to be in that kind of conflict.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
I believe that's everyone. And so we thank you who shared, and we're grateful first for all the good news that we heard and the gratitudes that were expressed. And for those prayers requested, especially Bob, your prayer, and all of the prayers in our hearts that haven't been mentioned. We do claim love, wisdom, healing, and wholeness to address all of these blessings and concerns. We remember too that no circumstance can change who we are or separate us from our divinity. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. if we have prayer requests today, anytime during the service, we recommend that you add your written prayer to the prayer box. There's paper and a prayer box beside the piano to put it in. And our prayer team members will pray with that request and then send it to Silent Unity, where it will be prayed over for another 30 days. I want to give a special thanks to the prayer team. And to me, the prayer is not only the foundation of how Unity started, but it's the foundation of our day-to-day life as well. So prayer team members, there are several of you here. Would you please raise your hands and take note if you would like to meet with any of these ladies after the service? They'll meet with you and pray with you as well. I believe we're ready for Unity Principle number 3. So let's say it aloud together. Unity Principle number 3. Thoughts have creative power to determine events and attract experiences. So we apply that principle to all our prayer requests. Now it's time for what we call an inspirational moment. That's a little daunting to think that something that might inspire me would inspire others, but I'll share something that has come to into my life. As a child, I was taught to believe, and many of us were, that we're all born bad. We're born in sin. And that there is a prescribed path to redemption. But for me, it never endured. And I was always searching unconsciously, trying to figure out how to feel good about myself. What a change it was to find the words of Unity Minister Catherine Ponder. That was how I was introduced to Unity. And the words and teachings of her mentors, Myrtle and Charles Fillmore. They founded Unity. And what I got from those teachings is that as offsprings do represent the nature of their parents, we in Unity apply that as being children of God. So for example, Catherine's, one of her affirmations is, I'm the rich child of a loving father, mother. Well, this created a little conflict in my family of origin. But nevertheless, I started to mouth the words and try to incorporate that, which takes a lot of time. Would this not make me full of pride, and would I become arrogant? What is arrogance anyway? Experts say it's an exaggeration of one's own worth, an attitude of superiority over others. So what I'm about to share now is the shock of, for me, the shock of learning that arrogance is the rejection of my nature as a child of the Creator. So for example, Jesus said, with just a little faith, as much as a tiny mustard seed, we can do the things Jesus did. He frequently spoke to his followers about the need to believe that this is true. So isn't it arrogant to say, no, Jesus, I can't do that. We can't do these things. Recently I saw an older movie called What the Bleep Do We Know? And there's a section in there that talks about the majesty of the mind of the Creator, and to reject that nature is arrogance. And frequently in the Course in Miracles, there's numerous mentions of arrogance. Can your grandeur be arrogant when God witnesses to it? To accept ourselves as God created us cannot be arrogance, because it is the denial of arrogance if we accept as we are, as God created us. Who is the light of the world? Except God's son or God's daughter. And this isn't the self-concept that we grew up with, but to deny it is deception and arrogance. So on and on. I'm just grateful to be among those of us who can claim to be a child of the universe with the full power of the Creator's love and light as our identity. And we intend to make it a belief that we unconsciously can accept. Now we'll move into meditation. Thank you.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a
Every thought, a prayer. Every deed, every word, every action. A prayer. We rest in this place, in this knowing. And we expand that knowing. We expand that power of prayer, that power of thought from the depths of our hearts to the hearts of all. We affirm the comfort and the knowing. the light of God surrounds us all. And we feel that connection. We know that truth. And we rest in the silence. And as we come back into this space, we bring with us that connection, and we unfold it in compassion. We unfold it in peace. We allow the knowing of the divine nature of each and every one. And we give great thanks for the peace within and the peace that exists in the infinite expression. Spirit, soothe our hearts, lift us. We are the expression of the higher consciousness. And we give great thanks. And so it is. And so we let it be.
Don't you believe them? They say it's fleeting, and only a princess could fall. 'Cause it's always in motion, love is in motion. The tides, they carry us away. Love is a teacher, willing to be there, helping us to understand that love's a just believe in the beauty of it's everywhere. Like an old dog protected, an infant that's sleeping, reminds us of love we are keeping. Love is an old man holding his daughter's hand, when his last breath slowly fades away. 'Cause love's a miracle, colorblind and colorful when we open up our hearts. Love is right where we are. Love's a miracle. It's in the air, it's in us all. And when we heed the call, love's a miracle. Love's a miracle. It's in the trees, we feel the breeze. It's all of life's possibility. 'Cause love is a miracle. And love is a miracle. It's colorblind, it's colorful when we open up our hearts. Love is a miracle. Love's a miracle. It's in the air, it's in us all. And when we heed the call, love's a miracle. You know, love's a miracle. Love is a miracle. Join me. Love is a miracle. You know, love is a miracle. You know, love is a miracle. It's colorblind, it's colorful when we open up our hearts. Love is where we are. Love's a miracle. It's in the air, it's in us all. And when we heed the call, love is a miracle. You know, love's a miracle.
Perfect timing. You know, we are a clapping church. I think he deserves another round of applause. That wasn't just a filler. I really meant that. You know, everything that we express is touched by our life experiences. So we're wrapping up our Life is Consciousness series this week. And wrap up is kind of it's pretty easy. I go back, I watch the videos, I take the information in, I compress it a little more, and I think through the music. And Matt and I had some great conversation, and okay, that's pretty good. Nope, not this week. Because life is consciousness, and consciousness is being aware. And when I stepped into the awareness of this week, I was in a different place. Now, I thought, really? Really? I'm texting Matt yesterday, and we're doing that little final touch thing on the order of service. I'm in minister mode, doing my project management thing. Okay, take that set of new batteries with you. Okay, don't forget flour, all those things. And all of a sudden, in the middle of this text message, I said, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. No, I'm not going anywhere. Everybody take a breath. in the midst of what I'm standing in and where my heart is feeling life, it felt ridiculous. And I said, how do I get up in front of these folks and I talk about consciousness? Life is consciousness. And we move from the subconscious to the conscious to the superconscious. And that's where we create and that's where we manifest. That is all still true. By the way, all 3 weeks weren't a waste. But the minutia of it felt overwhelming to me yesterday. It was overwhelming to me. And in the middle of this text, I start venting and letting go. Matt was the recipient of the text. I don't know how I'm going to get from point A to point B in this message. My heart hurts. My heart hurts when you see the world treat each other like we're treating each other. My heart hurts. And I can talk about consciousness all day long, and we can take in that we create our world. And I then just about fell under the collapse of the weight of it all. I don't want it to feel this way. I want to be able to do these teachings, and I want the playground to be level and fun and filled with flowers. And I want it to be easy. And I want, even though life can be challenging, yeah, I know all that, but we got this power, man. We got this power within us. I don't want it to feel this way. And it does. I am praying for our world. Yes, I am praying for Ukraine and all its people and its leaders. And I am praying for Russia, for all its people and its leaders. There are people in the streets in that country right now, and I am not getting political. There are people in the streets that are saying, we don't want to fight. We don't want to go to war. And I say, thank you, God, that the consciousness of peace could be seeping through. I am praying for our world to see that we have the power within our divine nature of who we are to lift whatever is being held in that subconscious that we've talked about, in the minds of people that want to be at war with humankind. I see those thoughts being lifted. That's our work. We know this. We are doing it all the time. We are expressing all the time what it is that we carry around. And to lift it into our awareness, into our consciousness is what we've been talking about. But what could that have to do with what's happening on the planet, Penny? How is that relevant? It's exactly relevant. That's my point. It wasn't at 10 a.m. yesterday morning. Yesterday morning, I was that 7-year-old child that the school psychologist, and thank you, public schools, for providing that service. I was a 7-year-old child, and that school psychologist said, don't let her watch the news anymore. Don't let her read the newspaper. You need to tone that down for her. She needs to fix it. And at 7 years old, I had an ulcer. My mother had some sage advice about that. It was really very right on. She said, there are two kinds of people in the world. She said, there are those that get ulcers, and there are those that give ulcers. And she said, it's always better to give than receive. Now that feels harsh, but that little 7-year-old girl showed up yesterday because in her subconscious, she had never let that go, that she couldn't do anything, that she was powerless. Me? Powerless? Really? Can I get anybody to buy in on that? You would have yesterday. I had to heal that so I could move into a consciousness and be aware that these teachings are not just about getting a parking spot or finding the right mate. These teachings are about how we heal. And then we are that in the world. And now we're modeling that. That's what made it relevant. That's when it got really hard yesterday. Matt says, I think I had him a little worried about my sadness. We'll be back from Flagstaff about 3:00 if you need to connect. And I said, let me see how this goes. And in my fashion, what I did was I went out and I split wood and I gathered more wood and I took a hike and because I know how to buck up. I know how to work through things, right? But that was not healing that little 7-year-old girl that thought she could do nothing and that she was powerless. And she was still in that place of thinking that and trying to get what the relevance of what she was doing in this given moment in this environment was. Anybody ever feel that way ever in your own life? Ever? Have you ever had an experience like that? We all have. We're breathing. Life is consciousness, and we are creating it. We are having the experience that we're having. And because everything that we express is touched by our life experiences, our work is to look at them, to embrace who we are and move from that subconsciousness, whatever that story is, even if it's a really good story, to move out of there into awareness so that we can then be aware that we are aware of it and move into creating from there in our super consciousness. So I'm not 7 anymore. I know that comes as a shock. I'm not that 7-year-old girl today. So what I'm saying is we can heal. Is what I'm saying. And 7 was a long time ago. That's a long time to hang on to something. Unknowingly though, right? And as soon as this presented, I had the opportunity to create from a higher level. Now, how does that help or support the children and families that slept in storm drains last night to be safe in Ukraine? How does that matter? It matters because when people are given permission to remind them and we give them permission of their divine nature, we will stop treating each other this way. And when that child that may have had to stay in that storm drain last night, when that child is given permission to know that it wasn't her fault, she didn't do anything wrong. She's a divine child of God. And if we can keep modeling and keep putting that into the consciousness of the planet, we will stop treating each other this way. And that child may be the next Anne Frank or the next Frankel. That's where they come from, or the people that have stepped out of their subconscious and transformed those experiences so that they can create from there. That's pretty impressive. Those are big stories. Those are big things in life. And we'll change the planet. And it starts right here. Here, there. How many of you looked in the mirror this morning and said, I am a divine child of God? Come on, say it with me. I am a divine child of God. Create from there. What isn't possible? This is the power of what we teach. This is the power of what we have within us. This is it. I had the absolute joy of watching Matt last week. We are a clapping church. Thank you. And he reminded us that we are wired to respond to what we feed ourselves mentally. Now, I can't do all those motions he was doing last week, the drop and the kick and the, yeah, actually I can, but I'm not going to. The point is that if you remember what he was talking about, the reticular activating system, and y'all have one. And what we're doing is when we feed, when we activate the positive and we activate the pure and we activate the divine nature of who we are, we show up bigger and better and sometimes faster in the swim lane, right?
Absolutely.
We show up because we're having that conversation, and that RAS, as Matt called it, that RAS moves right to what we focus on. I am focusing on peace on this planet. Peace. Not just that somebody should make that guy stop acting that way over there in Russia. Not just we're bigger and we're smarter and we're stronger and we have more technology. I am affirming and knowing peace on this planet. And my RAS is fired up to move these feet, this heart, this voice, this life in that direction. God, right? And it's right here. We have an International Peace Day in Flagstaff. Shameless plug. I happen to lead it. I happen to get the opportunity to lead that group of people. It's in September. Come on. I'm inviting you now. Check your calendar. We are holding the consciousness of peace. We're going to razz this war right off the planet. That's what we're going to do, Matt. Change your thoughts, change your life, he said. And I go back to thinking about those people in Ukraine. And I'm thinking, what could they be thinking right now? They're thinking survival. So it's our job. As a collective consciousness, it's our job to hold peace. It's our job to see it resolved in a peaceful manner because they're in survival mode. And that's why we have communities like this, so we can come back together and we can remind each other to do just that. To hold the consciousness that we want to see in the world. I have a lot of pages here that I am not going to get to, apparently. But you know what the cool thing about this series is? This series. That was actually a typo. I thought it was funny, so I left it, right? Life is consciousness, and we're all moving. If we're doing our work, we're moving that stuff out of our subconscious, and we're moving it into our consciousness, and we are aware that we are aware. And from there, we start to heal, and we start to create, and we move into that higher thought of remembering and knowing our divine nature, and we become that expression. And that's the bottom line to life is consciousness. And we are wired, as Matt reminded us, we're wired to get it done. And in week 2, I mentioned that love is consciousness. So bottom line, folks, is this. When we seek to be love, that is what we will receive and see in the world. I challenge you, whatever feelings you have about this conflict on the planet, can you move them to a consciousness of love? We'll change this planet, folks. We'll change it. We will. Ernest Holmes reminded us that there is power in the universe and we all have access. We're all tuning in at a different frequency, different radio stations, right? We're tuning in, right? I invite you into the consciousness of knowing your divine nature. You can only come from love from there. I stand in the light of the expressions of spirit right here. Thank you for indulging me. Namaste.
I'm going to sing the chorus first, so maybe you guys can get the hang of it and join me. Tune into our frequencies. Tune into what we hope to be. We resonate with harmony when we tune into our frequencies. Well, I was thinking to myself when I heard myself reply, careful what you're thinking, boy, 'cause it could change your life. Maybe we should let go of just getting by. Give our dreams wings, let them fly. And tune into our frequency. Tune into what we hope to be. We resonate with harmony when we tune into our frequency. I see my brothers and my sisters struggling just to make ends meet. We're working so hard, things they just don't believe. Maybe we should focus on what it is we want to see. Give our dreams wings and set them free. And tune into our frequency. Tune into what we hope to be. We resonate with harmony when we tune into our frequencies. When we tune into our frequency. So sit in the silence and let your conscience speak, and imagine what we could be. If we tune into our frequency, if we tune into what we hope to be. We resonate with harmony when we tune into our frequencies. When we tune into our frequency.
You know, I've decided instead of calling Matt a musician, I'm going to call him my musician. I don't know that he realizes how often that is true. Lucky me. Lucky you. Oh, look, I made a little rhyme. And now we will hear from Miss Elaine McKee again. Thanks, Elaine.
We're about to share in our abundance. So as you prepare any gifts you may have to give today, I'll review with us some of the things that are coming up around here and some of the exciting things that are on the website. Just a reminder, the website is www.bookstudy.openi. www.unityofflagstaff.org.
That's two.
So March Madness is coming up, but I'm not talking about the NCAA right now. We're talking about membership here, March Madness. So if anyone is considering membership here, just know that it's never a requirement, but only unless you want to serve on the board, but it is a deeper expression of your personal spiritual journey and your connection to our community. There are membership applications on the kitchen counter over there. And of course, if you have questions, Reverend Penny would be honored to answer them, I'm sure. And there is an orientation Sunday. It's March 27th, which would be a month from today. And everyone, and not just those applying for membership, but everyone is encouraged to attend that time. And there'll be a chance to discuss questions about unity and what unity teaches about various things, such as the Trinity, or Jesus, or the resurrection, or tithing, or you name what it would be. So come and find out. And there'll be a chance to play a round of Stump the Minister for prizes. That would be pretty hard to do, wouldn't it? And also provided that day will be Reverend Penny's soon to be famous turkey soup. And there will also be vegetarian fare. So everyone's welcome Sunday, March 27th. And this is a requirement for those applying for membership. So a fun
one. Yeah.
requirement.
We don't use the word requirement very often around here, do we? And, well, it's a bribe.
And I did read that word. I didn't make that one up.
You did read that word.
So in addition to that, we haven't been mentioning it a while, but our Wednesday at 3 p.m. is the integrated movement class. Michael, you're here. So if anyone is interested in joining that group or have questions about it, I know Michael would be very happy to answer your questions. And that is Wednesdays at 3 p.m. every Wednesday, right? The book study is still open. That's also Wednesdays, but it's 10:45 to noon here at the center. And the book is How to Pray Without Talking to God. So learn to pray from within your higher self for a sense of empowerment and peace, 10:45 a.m. on Wednesdays. And also on Wednesday, that's a popular day. At night, it's Let's Talk at 6:45 p.m. here at the center. It's the acronym FOOD is used. Food is fun, open, organic, and deep. And in case you haven't checked the information counter over there lately, there are some additional things from what we normally mention here. So take a look. And they're behind the information is behind those white curtains. There's a new thing. It's Susie, I think you're prepared to talk a little bit about a new drumming circle. And it starts, thank you, next Sunday. So Susie, do you want to discuss?
See why we need a drumming circle?
Do you?
We had an introduction to it
Oh,
last Sunday.
oh,
There were 8 of us that
okay,
showed up.
okay.
Oh, yeah. We had an introduction to it yesterday. I mean, last Sunday, sorry. And there were 8 of us that showed
Yeah.
up. So it just, we just went through the ritual of a drum circle, and we actually participated in drumming. And
So when are we going to meet
Sharing.
again, Susie?
it's next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
March
After,
15th.
after
12:15.
service.
March.
And can anybody else join, Susan?
Oh, absolutely. It's
Everybody.
open.
And we have drums. So
Yeah,
if you don't have your own.
drums will be provided.
Good, Ross.
Good. Thank you, Reverend Penny. Penny, back to you.
There we go. They're gonna let have a microphone. All right, my friends, let's see here. What do we got on the agenda? This cord worries me. I don't want you to get in that, anybody. All right, so here we go. So I'd like to thank all of you in advance for your generosity. Your gifts do support the ongoing consciousness of this community. I always say it's an interesting thing about churches and centers. Nobody walks away with a goodie bag. So that's up to you to do that. So you get to walk away from here today with something that is feeding you. And I would like to encourage us to say together this Eric Butterworth quote about abundance. We are human in expression, but divine in creation and limitless in potentiality. Yeah, one of my favorites. Come on down here and let's get started with that. And while they are gathering your gifts of abundance, as you feel comfortable, we will sing this song. The words are on your chairs, I believe. All right, gentlemen, and go forward. Thank you. Oops. Sam, can you give me a little click on that back there? I'm not getting it up here. Thank you. And stand when you are comfortable doing so. Thank you. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. This is how I start the day, knowing good is on the way. I am claiming perfect health, love and laughter, friends and well. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. With conviction undeterred and power of the spoken word, take my life and redefine, break the shackles of my mind. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah. I live my thoughts to higher ground, knowing miracles are all around. Each day unfolds just as it should when I'm focusing on the good. Life is filled with opportunity. I wonder what good is coming to me. Yeah, I claim a blessing. I claim it. I claim a blessing. I claim it. Yeah, yeah. I claim a blessing. I claim it. I claim a blessing. Yeah, yeah. Bring it to me. Give it to me. Now bring it on me. I claim a blessing. Yeah, yeah. Woo! Okay. I was just commenting that standing between these two gentlemen, I notice on the screen I look a little short. I'm gonna get me a little box. So we are standing in, and I'm wearing heels. We are in joy, with abundance. We are receiving these gifts now. Sam, can you put that PowerPoint up on the screen for me? And we are affirming together, we are grateful. Unity of Flagstaff is powerful in its expression of abundance. This is our truth, and so it is. We say thank you, God. And together we affirm the light of consciousness surrounds us. The love of consciousness enfolds us. The power of consciousness protects us. The presence of consciousness watches over us wherever we are. Consciousness is, and all is well. And now I would like for you to please join Matt in the song, All We Are Asking is Give Peace a Chance. Here we go.
Everybody's talking about bagism, shagism, dragism, madism, ragism, tagism.
Come on, help him out.
Thisism, thatism, isn't it the most? All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance.
Anyway, Matt.
Ministers, sinisters, banisters, canisters, bishops, bishops, rabbis and rabbis, rabbis and rabbis. All we are
Here we go.
saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. Let me tell you now, everybody's talking about revolution, evolution, mastication, flagellation, regulation, integration, meditation, united. Congratulations, and all we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. Everybody's talking about John and Yoko, Timmy, Larry, Rosemary, Tommy Smothers, Bobby Dylan, Tommy Cooper, Derek Taylor, Norman Mailer, Allen Ginsberg, Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna. All we are saying is a chance.
Yeah.
All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. Keep it going. All we are saying, give peace a chance. One more. All we are saying is give peace a chance.
Thank you, my friends. Create an amazing week. And I am realizing that when I send this email, I got your first name wrong. I did. Oh, look at I did. This is the best. Well, I don't know how I did that. You know, but I'm the one that does all that. You know.
Tell no lie. I won't even try to contain it. What I feel, it is real, it is bigger than me. Look